This is From Dirt We Grow. I am Stephanie Kendall, your host, with another off-schedule episode post-rally show. I did a pre-rally show last week, interviewed somebody, with an organizer for one of the protests, and now I have interviewed someone that has attended after the protest. So let's get some insight into what happened at one of these guys. This is Jack I have with me today. I'm happy to have you here. Welcome to the show, Jack.
Hello, hello. Happy to be here.
Thanks so much for showing up today.
Mm-hmm.
You are in Montana, correct? What rally were you at?
Yes, I am a resident. I went to the Helena, Montana rally, though there were several others that happened. There was one down in Bozeman, one down in Kalispell. There were tons all over the state. I think it was 17 registered total, not accounting for solo people protesting in their actual towns. Even in a super red state like Montana, it's amazing to see, especially steps up from the year's earlier protests. The amount of people showing up today was just magical.
Yeah, I've been seeing, everything on social media is all about it, obviously, covering it, and which is great. And I saw it was like 5 million people showed up today all over. So that's great. That's awesome.
It's genuinely wonderful to see that percentage of the population slowly getting more and more and more. It's such an amazing thing to see.
It's so, yeah, because you see so much of the other side and you're like, oh my gosh, how many of them are there? All right, so tell us what happened. What was going on? Did you have speakers and all kinds of fun stuff going on?
With the general gist, with how most of these go, they're typically helped by local indivisible organizations and other things. They bring their podium with their mic every time. God bless them. And then I went around. There was this other person. She was running a canned food drive at our location, so I brought some peaches and whatnot that I had in the pantry and everything, which is a very, very nice sentiment, I think, for the actual statements, to be able to form a sense of community, to get to know people you wouldn't get to know otherwise, and to stand together for a common cause. It's the kind of thing that I heard about growing up a lot. Be a part of that in my community instead of just hearing about it in a history book is absolutely amazing to me. And so once you have like that starting period, they have a couple speakers go in, someone saying, this land is our land. Everyone talks. We had someone from the VA come down and talk about the budget cuts. We had someone who is I always forget their name, but they're sort of a local hero. They are a part-time lobbyist, accidentally, is the way that they phrase it for themselves. They represent the LGBTQ plus community, and their whole thing is how they sort of just got pushed onto the pedestal by their peers to talk about it and everything. They were very about how Montana has always been a state in the modern age about no matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter what you stand for, you can always stand for other people. And the community there and the community here is something that is worth fighting for. And that once one group of people, if any one group of people has their rights stripped away in any capacity, we all suffer for it as a society. And the most uplifting thing about all these stories being shared, all this nepotism about budgets being cut and federal funding being drained and a feeling of helplessness from our representatives, we still stood together in solidarity and trusted each other. We talked about it to another person face to face and actively worked, did stuff like the food drive, signed petitions, and actively organized it to be back in 2 weeks once again. It's genuinely just such a wonderful event to just sit down on the Capitol lawn, walk around, hang some signs, and have a good time.
Yeah, it sounds like it was amazing. And I didn't know it was so inclusive. I thought it was only in Montana.
One of the biggest things about the movement, and it's not just indivisible from their state organizations. It's not just 50-51. The idea of all these little movements, it's very grassroots. It's very building up bit by bit ever since the outcome of the election, even a bit before. Starting out on President's Day, then on March 4th, now today, and then now again in 2 weeks. And it's gotten to the point where a lot of legacy media, a lot of bigger media is finally starting to cover it. As I can say, as someone who went to the March 4th protest here in Helena, there was at least 3.5 to 4 times as many people as there was last time. More news is getting out. More things are happening, not only in the political sphere, but in the economic sphere, in the human rights sphere, in the world in general, care about this sort of stuff. The numbers that are being thrown around for national general participation is around 5 million. A little bit more than that. That's just under 2% of the U.S. population averaging out, which is insane that 2% of the population is almost protesting, and it has not been that much for a very, very long time. And the fact that that's building from a grassroots movement bit by bit by bit over months. I don't know how many more Cory Bookers it's going to take. I don't know how many more protests it's going to take, but I'm going to take a sign. I'm going to donate to the canned food drive, and I'm going to show up every single time until this stops. I'm going to call my representatives. I'm going to show up where it needs to be showed up, because that's the only thing that's going to help save this country from the turmoil it's within. We're in the turn of the century. It happened at the beginning of the 20th century where a bunch of nonsense happens. We're living through a historical pattern. No matter how things go, we got to stand up, we got to stick together, and we got to push through it as a community.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And I'm so glad you're so passionate about it. I'm so glad there are so many people that are so passionate about it. This is nothing like we've ever seen before. And I'm so glad there's so many people that are for it and that are trying to save democracy and trying to get out there and do this because it's needed and something has to happen. And if the politicians that I know there's so many that don't agree with them but are not standing up and saying, like we had Cory Booker, and if more of him were there showing up for us, then maybe we wouldn't have to. But here we are. So
Yeah.
let's make it happen for us. That's right.
I feel like there is absolutely not a doubt in my mind that we are going to have more and more and more people as time goes on. It is going to snowball bit by bit by bit. If I remember correctly, there's a standard when it comes to protesting and that sort of deal. There is if I remember right, 3.5% of a population protesting is all that is needed, statistically speaking and historically speaking, to stop any sort of authoritarian actions within a government. Because once that amount of people happens, it is not only impossible to ignore, it's impossible to stop it if it starts spiraling. And so 3.5% of the population is what we need. And we will get there if we did just under 2% this day. Just give it another couple weeks, give it another couple months.
Yeah. I can believe we can get there. I believe we'll get there. Yeah, absolutely. I know I'm in Wisconsin, and I know I saw something about at least 32,000 people showed up. So we're here. We're here for it.
And it's not just states like that. It's not just Wisconsin. And God bless you guys. You guys made sure that
we made it happen, baby.
We made it happen. No billionaire. Hey, billionaire, waste your money. Ain't gonna matter.
Get the hell out of here, huh? Kick rock.
Like the things being done by the current administration are truly bipartisan in their aggression, in their stupidity, and in their effects on the population. If we can agree on anything, it's that these effects do hurt and harm everyone. And the fact that people are seeing that across all partisan lines, against all distance, is magical. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I believe we'll get there. Like you said, give it some more time. Yeah, 5 million, that's a big number. So I have all the faith in our people in our nation to do the right thing. So I'm just so excited that this is actually happening. I'm so excited there's some movement. I'm so excited to see all this going on. I want to thank you for being here with me and sharing your story. And I love your passion, and keep that going. And with that, I will end the show. Thank you for listening. This has been From Dirt We Grow.